Hey, Motorman here. If you're not familiar with this channel, I'm a motor officer instructor, now retired. I'm the maker of the Ride Like a Pro video. And before we go any further, we have just came out a couple of months ago, the brand new Ride Like a Pro experience video that teaches you the police motor officer techniques. We've used several different camera angles, including a drone, so you can see exactly how the exercises work. And I go over the techniques very, very diligently so that you can't possibly screw it up. It's only 20 bucks. And we, of course, have Surviving the Mean Streets that will show you why you did particular exercises. You can get both of these for 35 bucks on DVD or even on USB, so you could plug it into your phone when you go out to practice, or you can get it on download. With that said, today we're going to talk about, I get this question a lot. People say to me, should I get a Heritage or a Road King? Because they're pretty close in price. Well, I can't really make that decision for you, but I can tell you my feelings on it and the pros and cons of each model. Now let's start with the Heritage. The MSRP on Heritage is right about $19,000. That doesn't include freight. I don't know why they don't include freight. Maybe they don't want to scare you that bad, but that's another 400 bucks or so. And they have a new thing on there on Harley's website at the very bottom. You got to scroll over the bottom under pricing, and it says surcharge. I think it's $300. So you're going to pay 19,000 bucks plus $400 for the freight, plus $300, and whatever dealer greed there is. Now, I've seen right now Harley-Davidsons, in fact, all motorcycles, just like the cars, are in short supply. So it's supply and demand. I know there's some dealers getting $1,000 over MSRP, and that's taxable too, because they call it a dealer fee, but that comes on the bottom line before tax tag and title. So you're going to be well over $20,000 by the time you get out the door. That's for the Heritage. Now the Road King is $19,500 plus, again, freight. I think the surcharge on that is 400 bucks, and the freight is another $400. And the same thing, they're going to charge you the whatever fee they feel like it. It's a free market. They can do what they want. You have a choice, of course, of going someplace else. So pretty close in price, within $500, but I think you get more for your money with the Road King, because one of the things that I always suggest to people is always the first thing to get is some crash bars, because if the bike tips over, you're not going to have any damage to the motorcycle. Yeah, the bottom of the crash guards could get scratched, but you're not going to be breaking the mirror or the levers off or anything like that. So always get crash guards. Now, it's standard on the Road King, but it's going to cost you about another 500 bucks on the Heritage. Why they don't come with it, I couldn't tell you. Both bikes, by the way, ABS is standard. The RDRS system, which is cornering ABS and different riding modes, that's available as well on the Road King for another $995, but you cannot get it for any price on the Heritage Softail or any of the Softail models. So that's something also to think about. That is a lifesaver when you get into a curve, you're coming around a blind curve and suddenly there's sand or an animal in the street, whatever. You can actually clamp down on those brakes with the motorcycle leaning over, and it won't low side on you. So it's a very good thing to have. I would suggest it if you could afford it. Go ahead and get the RDRS, but keep in mind too, it's going to come with ABS no matter what. Now, as far as the looks of the motorcycle, that's such a personal thing. The 107 Heritage, I like the looks of that bike better than the 114 model. By the way, the 114 model is $20,450. Not only do you get the 114 motor, but you get the blacked out look. On the Heritage, I like the chrome rims and the chrome spokes a little bit better. And really, with the motorcycle weighs about 700 pounds or 740 pounds, the 107 is more than adequate. You got plenty of power. They even use that motor in some of the touring bikes, and they weigh a couple hundred pounds more. I would say that the Road King, if you're going to be carrying two people a lot, I would rather go with the Road King, because the ride quality is a little bit better than it is on the Heritage, especially for two-up riding, and I think you have a little bit more room. Now, I should mention the seat that comes standard on the Road King. It feels great when you first sit on it. It's nice and low, puts you a good position towards the bars, but it's very soft, and after about a half hour or an hour, it's a killer. The better seat is on the Heritage, in my opinion, because it's a little bit firmer. On both bikes, you have what I call mini apes, or you have handlebars with a decent amount of pullback. So if you're a shorter person, you just loosen a couple of bolts and you pull those handlebars back towards you. If you're a taller person, you just push them forward. So whatever you need, either one of the bikes will do in that respect. You're going to find a comfortable position. It's just a matter of adjusting the handlebars for you. As far as handling goes, well, let's talk about high-speed handling. Now, let's say the Road King is capable of going around a particular curve at, let's say, 70 miles an hour, where it's just about skimming the floorboards on the ground. On the same curve, the same speed, yeah, the Heritage is not going to be as good. You're going to have to slow down at least 5 miles an hour because it doesn't have as great a lean angle. The Road King has a 32-degree lean angle versus 28 degrees for the Heritage. That makes the biggest amount of difference when you're doing low-speed maneuvers. The Road King with a 32-degree lean angle, it's got a 64-inch wheelbase, 26-degree rake. It is about the best heavyweight cruiser type motorcycle for low speed handling. That's one of the reasons the cops use them, because they're so maneuverable, yet a very comfortable bike, and you can carry a lot of weight on them. Now with the Heritage, you could, if you try to lean it too far, you're going to wind up levering a tire off the ground. In fact, you'll see that in one of the videos I'm going to show you here. If you're trying to make, say, and this is extreme, if you're trying to do a figure 8 in 2 parking spaces wide by 2 parking spaces long, that's 18 by 36. The Heritage will do it, but you got to be real careful not to lean too far, because you'll be levering the tire off the ground. Where on the Road King, you really don't have to worry about that. And this is, of course, if you know the proper techniques. That's another thing to consider. If you're the type of rider that doesn't want to take any training, if right now you're on a smaller bike and when you have to make a U-turn, you got to duck walk the bike around like a doofus, yeah, probably neither one of these bikes are going to be good for you unless you're prepared that after you get the bike to actually go to a parking lot and practice the techniques and the exercises I show you in this video. This is everything you need to know about riding the motorcycle so that you never have to duck walk that bike around. The techniques, by the way, head and eyes, friction zone, a little bit of pressure on the rear brake, and you can do amazing maneuvers with either one of these motorcycles. Now, the Road King weighs about 840, 850 pounds. I'm not sure what they give you the weight on the website in running order, but it doesn't say if the tank is full. By the way, also, you get a 6-gallon tank on the Road King and a 5-gallon tank on the Heritage. But if you're going to be doing low-speed turns, you really want to learn the techniques. Maybe you're going to ride in competition. Definitely the Road King is the better option. It is the more maneuverable motorcycle, and I think it's better out on the highway. Now, around town, if you're not really familiar with the proper techniques, you'll probably find the Heritage is a little bit easier because it weighs 100 pounds less, and it's probably easier to muscle around. You shouldn't be muscling your bike around, but it's easier on the Heritage because it weighs 100 pounds less. Again, maneuverability better on the Road King. Out on the highway, I believe that the Road King gives you a more plush, a little bit better ride, and it's smoother. You don't get, in fact, you get virtually no vibration coming up through the hand grips or the floorboards, whereas on the Heritage, you do get some vibration. On the 107, you could feel it just a little bit in the hand grips, not so much in the floorboards. But if you go up to the 114 motor, it's a little bit more. Now, you can get also, a lot of people don't realize this, if you get the police version of the Road King, it's about the same price, $20,000. That's if a dealer is willing to sell it to you at that price. They can charge whatever they want, but it comes with the 114 motor. It comes standard with the RDRS system and, of course, ABS. So that is really the best buy of the bikes I've mentioned so far. The Heritage, the Road King Standard, the Road King Police bike is the better buy. There's also the Road King Special, which I don't think is too good a buy because it doesn't come with a windshield. It only comes with front crash guards, not rear crash guards. But you do get if you like the look of the blacked out motor and the blacked out rims and all that, it's going to cost you about $23,000. And of course, that's for basic black. All the prices I've mentioned are for basic black. But if it were me, if you're going to take any kind of long rides, the Road King is going to be better. If most of your riding is going to be done in the city and you occasionally take a 400 or 500 mile ride, yeah, the Heritage is just fine. Either bikes will do. They're both fine motorcycles. Paint quality is excellent on both of them. But if you're the type of person that maybe is a little tentative or shy, go with the lighter motorcycle. Maybe later on move up to a Street Glide or an Ultra. But my opinion is get the Road King. It's going to cost you about the same amount of money, and it's a better motorcycle for out on the road and for maneuvering at low speeds. You got to put the time in, get in the parking lot and learn the proper techniques, and either one of them could then be handled with the ease of a child's toy. So I hope you enjoyed this. And best thing for you to do, by the way, is just go to a Harley dealer that's got both bikes and take a good ride on one of them. You try to, if they'll let you ride it around for 30, 40 minutes, the longer you ride the bike, the better feel you're going to have for it. So please, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and give me a thumbs up, and I'll be back in a couple of days.